Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do a step-by-step detailed tutorial and show you guys how I was able to achieve this particular look. If you want to know how I was able to do that, please continue watching the rest of this video. So the first thing I did was to pick up my razor and then I went ahead to carve my brows. In this particular video, the carving of the brow is quite detailed, but if you want a more detailed tutorial, I am going to link my previous video to this particular one. So all I did was to put my brow into a frame, and then for the upper part of my brow I carved out the excess hairs that I didn't need, and then for the lower part of my brow I also carved out the excess hairs that I didn't need, and that is what I am doing right now. Next off, I picked up my spoolie and put everything in place, and this was what the brow looked like. Next up, I picked up my eyelash glue, and this is a very strong eyelash glue, and I also use this for my brow just to keep the hairs in place and intact so that it will be easier for me to draw. Next up, I went ahead to pick my vitamin C face serum, and this is going to reduce the wrinkles and dark spots on the face, and it's just going to make my skin glow. Next up, I went in with this moisturizer. This is going to moisturize your skin and also give it a glowy effect. It also reduces dry skin, so it just moisturizes the skin. Next up, I went in with this grip face primer, and I actually just applied little on my hands and then just apply that generously all over my face, making sure it was dry before I went in with my rose water setting spray, and this is going to enable the makeup sit properly on my face. Then I went in with my Absolute lip gloss just to moisturize my lips, and for foundation I went in with this Zikel foundation, and this was exactly in my shade, so I didn't have to mix different shades of foundation because this was actually in my exact skin tone. So all I did was to wet my beauty sponge. It's actually called a beauty sponge or a beauty blender. So I tapped the products into my skin like this, and I actually did love the effect. So make sure that you're tapping the products on your skin and do not drag. So once that was done, I went in with my concealer, and this is from Classic Cosmetics, and I used this just to highlight my T-zone areas, and my T-zone areas are underneath my eyes, my forehead, my jaw, and also my nose. So this is just to accentuate my look and give it a more lifted effect. As you can see, while I'm tapping with my beauty sponge, I'm also trying to lift up my face by the side like this. So I'm just trying to lift up my face just so that it gives me a lifted look. So make sure that you're tapping and you are not dragging. So just tap and you would actually love the outcome. So once I was done with this and I saw that everything was good, I went in with my blush, and I'm using this lip palette today because I needed a creamy blush effect before applying my powdered blush. So I had to go in with this orange shade of lippy on my cheekbone like this, and once I was done applying that, I tapped the products to my skin, making sure that whatever I do on the right hand side I also do on the left hand side. So I went in with my V Beauty powder palette, and I love this powder palette a lot because it just gives you your desired effect. So in the areas where I highlighted, I went in with a lighter shade of powder, and in the areas where I have my exact skin tone, I used my exact skin tone from their powder palette. Next up, I went in with my powdered blush from Ageless Charm, and I love this a lot as well. So I went in with their orange shade of blush, and this was what I had at this point, and I also applied the blush on my forehead. Next up, I went in with this setting powder from Adventure Cosmetics, and I have been using this product a lot for some years now because I love it. It doesn't crease, and it also gives you your most desired effect. So this is just to bake the T-zone area of my face like this, and it's just going to give me a more lifted and an accentuated look. So I applied the setting powder on my brow as well. So once that was done, I made sure that I chiseled my nose properly because I wanted a more pointed effect. So at this point, I had to pick up my brush, and then I dusted off the excess setting powder that I had on my brow. So once this was done, I picked up my Davis brow pencil in the shade 0.03, and I drew a thin line underneath my brow and also another thin line at the top of my brow, and then I connected it with a thin line underneath my brow. And once this was done, I filled up the space in between the upper and the lower line that I had drawn on my brow, the space covered with powder, just so that I can have hair-like strokes in between that area like this. So once I got what I wanted, I went ahead to conceal the brow with a flat brush, and then I used a lighter shade of concealer underneath my arc, and then I used my shade of foundation at the inner corner of the brow. So all I did next was to use a blending brush, and I blended all of that properly. Once that was done, I also concealed the upper part of my brow and blended all of that properly. I also extended the concealer towards my crease area on my eyelid like this, and then just tapped that product onto the eyelid properly. And then I went in with a pink shade of eyeshadow, and this eyeshadow palette is from V Beauty Cosmetics. So once I was done with the pink shade, I also went in with a purple shade of eyeshadow because I needed to blend the whole product properly, and I needed a more defined look. So I went in with a purple shade of eyeshadow as well. And then for the inner corner of the eye, I also went in with a peach shade of eyeshadow. This actually looks like pink though. I needed something that rhymed with what I was wearing, so I went in with that shade, and then I blended all of that properly, and then I applied powder underneath my brow just so that it can blend properly into the eyeshadow. For some of us with really small eyes, really need to be careful when applying your eyeshadow. So once I was done, I went ahead and lined my waterline area, which is my tear duct area, and I just did the same thing for the left hand side of my eyes as well. And then I went in with this Sorosuke mascara from Nuban Cosmetics just to bring out my natural lashes more and to dust off the excess powder and eyeshadow that I have on my natural lashes. And then I went in with my falsies, and this was what it actually looked like, and I loved it a lot. So once that was done, I dusted off the setting powder off my face, the excess setting powder off my face, because at this point it had already sunk, like set into my skin properly. And once that was done, I went in with a dark shade of lippy just to outline the upper and lower lip. And then I went in with a pink shade of lippy as well. This is actually a nude shade, and I blended all of that properly, and also went in with white and blended all of that properly. And I also went in with lip gloss because I love lip gloss a lot. I just feel like it changes the whole look and gives you a better outcome though. So I applied mascara on my lower lashes, and at this point I also went in with blush just because it had cleaned up a little, so I needed to define my blush again, and this was what I had. And then I went in with pigment from Avon Cosmetics, and it was in their gold shade, and I just applied this at the upper corner of my cheekbone, my forehead, my jaw, my nose, and I loved every bit of it. And at this point I went in with my rose water again, and I just applied that generously all over my face, and also went in with this So Pro Silite setting spray because I needed the makeup to last long. So at this point, this was what I had, and I was all ready to rock and slay. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you watched this video to this extent, I love you so much, and I really do appreciate. Thank you all for watching this video. If it has been helpful and you're a new person on this channel, just watching me for the first time, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share, and do not also forget to turn on your notification button so that each time I post you get a notification and you'll be the first to know. And for returning subscribers, I love you guys so much. Thank you all for all your support, all your shares, your likes. I really do appreciate. Thank you guys so much for watching this video once again. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.